Welcome to Ever After, a Once Upon a Time podcast. Season 6, Episode 17, Awake. In this episode, Hook aligns with Tiger Lily to find a way back to Emma, and Regina works to free David and Snow from the sleeping curse. Meanwhile, Gold and the Black Fairy come to an impasse. Snow and Charming make a sacrifice so Emma can fulfill her destiny. I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And...
Rob Southgate.
Oh, this episode was so
This
good.
was fun. It was action-packed.
Oh, yeah.
I liked that it was flashing back.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh,
And
I loved that.
It kept making me question, did we see this stuff before? But we didn't.
No.
Right?
Because
We
it was
didn't.
way in the past.
Right.
Because Emma was
Before-
maybe about
like-
10 or 12?
Or she looked younger.
Maybe younger,
I think she
9.
was like 7.
No.
So when this show started,
7.
I'm trying to remember, wasn't David in the hospital? Wasn't all that happening in
Yes.
that first one?
Yeah.
But Regina was aware, she knew about the curse and everything.
Yeah, she always knows.
Why did did this happen in between of what we saw somehow?
No, it happened before.
So he ended up in the coma again?
No. I think he
No.
just laid in the hospital through the entire curse.
Dad, he was
but he had to go back to it.
because they were saying that he was like sleepwalking throughout the woods.
So he
we
went
had
back
several
there
things that
and he was
hinted at this episode, like how he had walked through the woods and they had to form a search party again in a later episode.
okay.
And they did the Snow, David.
Mm-hmm.
Another
Okay.
episode, which makes me cry every time.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's why it was weird. There were things that I'm going, wait, I think we saw this, but we did kind of.
We
Because
saw
it played
later.
Yeah.
out later. Yeah,
But
okay, that was
I
really
love Tiger
cool.
Lily.
He was in, he had to go back into the coma. That's why when she woke up, he was still not, he
Right.
was crumpled up in a mess.
Right.
Because he had to go back to because he was actually
Yeah.
sick in Storybrooke. So he had to go back to the hospital, he's back at a coma.
Gotcha.
And he'll stay there until
The curse was
the
broken.
curse is broken.
Wait, no, until his curse was broken. Because
Mm-hmm.
remember, it stopped and then he was up and alive for a while. For the
My
last-
favorite part of that, there was a lot I liked. That flashback, this was as
We're
good
going to
as
just
it's ever
talk about
been.
the flashback for a minute and then
Okay.
Tiger Lily.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, then we'll get to Tiger Lily. Was my favorite was the Gold thing. How Gold didn't remember when David said the word Emma. It turned on. He remembered
he's like,
at that point
I don't know what you're talking about. No, he knew.
because no, he didn't.
I know he knew. He's
No, wow, he didn't know. It was that trigger word. That's why he said sometimes a word will jog the memory. He had planted in his head that when the word Emma was said to him, he would remember. So that very beginning, he didn't know. But when we saw Gold at the beginning of the series,
He
he
knew.
already knew.
Yeah.
yeah.
So instead of him coming through the portal and knowing, and because that always was something that kind of I accepted, but I wondered, how did he come through and know everything? How did Regina let that happen?
Oh no, she didn't.
She
but-
didn't.
Yeah.
He had set a trigger because he knew about the curse,
It's interesting. I wonder if they had this planned
like from the
out
beginning.
from the beginning.
Well,
or
they
if
have
this
said-
is something that they just sort of went, oh, this could be cool.
Yeah, well, they said that this season, at the end of this season, is wrapping up this entire storyline.
Yeah.
It's
so
been
then,
5 years of this story.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So 6? Okay, 6
We're
years
in the
of the story.
6th season.
Unless
Unless there was a season that wasn't about this storyline.
no, they all were.
I know.
But they said that what happens at the end of this season, so in a few episodes, wraps up that storyline. If the show continues from this point,
Then it'll be
a completely new
story.
storyline.
Will it be the same characters though?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But it's the Savior storyline, which was the story from day one, the story of how she got there, the story of Regina and Gold. All of that will be done at the end of this season.
I assume they'll end the series then.
But they haven't announced it yet.
They'll end the series since I believe they would.
Okay, all right. Predictions by Mini Geekstradamus.
Yes.
Okay, so Tiger Lily.
So Hook
Mark my words.
ends up in Neverland in the last episode, and
Oh, I love Neverland.
so
the Lost Boys were ambushing him,
yeah,
and Tiger Lily comes in and saves him.
yeah, but I thought that she wasn't. She shot him in the neck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was like, she's like, whoever said this was us a rescue mission.
Yeah,
Like,
that was great.
I love her.
I know,
so
but that
much.
freaked me out. I thought for sure she was.
Yeah, I thought she was going to take him
She
away and
was
do something
hurting him.
nasty.
Oh yeah, I was happy.
Plus, we got to see the shadow back.
Yeah, that
which
was fantastic.
The
awesome.
shadow is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved when Emma thought that he was dead. That was cool. When only the hook was left behind.
Yeah. I was getting a little confused right there when the shadow showed up. I started thinking, just briefly, wait, is this somehow not a flashback, but did somehow when they traveled portals, are they back to a point where Pan would be there?
No.
No.
But no, it made a lot of sense
The
how they
shadow
played it out.
stays.
Yeah.
And when they were fighting, when the shadow was trying to pull Hook to take him to Emma, and the Lost Boy was holding him, and in that confusion, to me it looked like Hook got away, but the Lost Boy had his hook, and then
And we were calling him Stumpy.
I doubt
Captain
I'm not that
Stumps.
rude. Maybe you were.
Yeah.
I didn't say.
And,
Dad said that.
Well, I am
Well, that
rude.
we expect. But then when the shadow got to Emma, he was holding the hook.
And I was like, I went,
So,
see, I told you.
I thought it was going to be that. I thought it was the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they didn't keep the hook, and then he'd have to go back to Neverland to get his hook or something like that.
He wouldn't have. I just figured that they
Well,
would.
he could. I bet there's like a.
Or
Oh,
they
he
would
could
have.
get
There's
a
a
wooden
hook shop.
Yeah, he could have gone to Hooks R Us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got
Well,
all different types of hooks.
Geppetto's dad can,
Make him a wood one.
can whittle him a hook.
Whittle.
Whittle a hook.
There has to be a blacksmith there, so they would be the ones that would make the hook.
Well, what if? Yeah, he.
Or I
could-
bet Gold has
I
one in
bet
his
if,
shop.
like some people like to get pins wherever they go. I bet he gets hooks
So he gets like
wherever he
the
travels.
I
he
get
gets-
magnets.
he gets the Disney
Yeah.
pin, the Disney hook when he
Yeah.
goes to Disney World.
Yeah, there you go. You
This
go to
is-
the Disney store.
Ah, it's my first time.
Get the
Yeah,
Disney
it's got like little Mickey Mouses all over it. First timer, it says across it.
Yeah.
So, wow, that went off on a tangent that had nothing to
That
do
was
with
awesome.
this reality or this show. Okay.
This
those
show-
are the
Emma
things,
is
the
a
blanks I fill in.
narcissist beyond
Oh my
narcissist.
gosh.
Here, Snow does all of these things to sacrifice, and then she even tells Emma, this is time for us to sacrifice again for you. And she's like,
Again.
okay, all right.
Yep.
Go ahead and rot over there in your
Rotten
sleep.
Yeah, she's like, go die in
Yeah.
your sleep.
She's
I'm just
horrible.
gonna save my.
Well, she's like, you guys are old
Wait.
now. What does it matter?
And then later, when they
Even though
were
we're the same age.
sitting, they're like, Regina's like, okay, we can all form the sleeping curse together, so that way we can dilute it and it'll all be good. Okay. So Hook goes, I'm in, and then Regina goes, I'm in, and then Emma hangs back for a bit, and she goes, okay.
Yeah.
I thought she faked it.
I
I
did
did
too.
too.
I wouldn't have put it past her. But okay, can we
And then
just
Henry went, but
really?
And Henry shouldn't be drinking.
What is up with the fact that Snow and Charming seem to have forgotten that they have a toddler?
yeah, they've got a baby there.
I know. Who was watching? What about the baby? Who was
It's
watching the
been in
baby?
Cinderella's daycare for like 2 years. Okay,
Right.
but
Oh yeah, remember Cinderella's? Yeah.
but what they're like? Oh, we have no reason to keep going. You have a whole life ahead of you. Who's raising your freaking infant?
Yeah.
It's
got
like,
a
oh,
freaking
Emma can
baby.
raise the baby.
They didn't say it.
Yeah,
they
but
don't
you know what?
acknowledge
They
that they
only
have
really
one.
love the first child.
Yeah, they only care about the first child.
They will sacrifice for the first child.
They
the second
didn't
one,
even
who cares?
mention it. They didn't even say Emma. Like Emma wouldn't go. Neil needs you.
Right.
Like you. No, you can't go to sleep. You have a baby.
Yeah,
Which they would have
she's-
said, who?
That's my point.
Yeah.
So
Like,
it got
you have
eaten
a
with all
baby?
the other children on the show.
So maybe that'll be what happens.
Remember when Snow was trying to restart like
got
the school
eaten.
and everything, and the kids all disappeared?
I
Well,
wonder
Neil
if
did.
in the next season, if it does come back and they restart everything, Neil comes back as the big bad. He's an adult. He's the big bad because he's so hurt and rejected by Snow.
And he wants to
Charming.
kill Emma because
Yes!
Emma
Was
got
the one-
all of his attention.
And then all the
Yeah.
all the other baddies like Gold and Regina, he just kills them all off. He just one at a time kills
Like,
them off. So
I
it's like
am Neil.
we're watching it going, what the heck happened? And it turns out it's Neil because he was spurned in this
Spurned?
moment. Yeah, he was turned away at this moment, rejected. I'm going to keep using words until I get the right one.
I don't think that word means we...
Yeah, it's not spurned. I had the wrong word.
I don't know what spurned means.
He was rejected.
Shunned?
Shunned!
Shunned. Yeah. Reject? You could have just said rejected.
I could have, but I'm tired, so I couldn't. I am in the middle of writing a paper, and my brains are mushy, so give me a break. Could David have come up with that word? No. His brains are mushy.
He was smart in this episode.
I liked David in this
episode.
I liked him in this episode.
I
did too.
He went, wait, the flower. I know this.
Well, he was animated. He actually had some personality.
I was nice. I loved that Zelina. She's like, pretty boy's right.
Yeah.
I didn't get, and I don't know what this is, but the Black Fairy, I know she's evil, but she's not fleshed out enough. She just seems like we're supposed to know she's the big threat. Mm-hmm. She was scarier before. Like in this one, I just like, oh, okay, here's someone else that could end up either redeemed or she'll be defeated by Gideon because once he gets his heart back, he'll be redeemed. And, just she doesn't seem...
She's not very threatening.
Yeah, I need her to be horrible, especially if this is leading to the end of the story. I hope she's the final battle because... Let's face it, this is ending the 6-year story arc. Mm-hmm. She should end up being the threat beyond threats.
Oh, yeah.
And they made an illusion in the preview for next week that she is, but I shouldn't feel it here.
In next week, she looks scarier.
Yeah, she just kind of was like, here's Gideon, here's my lapdog, and he defeated her. He got around her by having that flower. I'm like, somebody could just stab her.
Yeah. I thought the flowers were very cool, though.
I want her to have magic and be burning things to the ground.
Well, she said she would.
Yeah, I want her to.
She said, I will burn this, there will be nothing left.
Yeah, she said, you'll know when the final battle comes. Mm-hmm. She's like...
if she was a big bad at that moment when they met her in the woods, and they're like, is this a final battle? She would have said no, and then gone, now that you mention it, whoosh, fireball, everybody's dead.
Yeah.
Why not? Why is she waiting?
They should have
because she has to kill the savior, right?
Gideon does.
Why does he have to and she doesn't?
Oh, wait,
because she doesn't want to die.
She won't die.
Why would she die?
Why would anyone put themselves in that position if they have lackeys that can do it for them?
Mom,
but she had his heart. Why not say, go kill her? Right at that moment.
Because
here's the sword.
Show.
Go kill her.
I know. I'm with you on that.
So that was the only thing I didn't like in the episode.
But then Gold saved her. But he did pretty much kill her once.
It got a little soap opera-y for me in that thing where it's like, okay, we're going to keep stretching out the threat. Where I want to see it, I want it to play out like a movie where it's got that arc, and every episode at this point ends with real stakes. Okay, everybody was saved here in this one. The next few, personally, I want to see characters dying. Mm-hmm. Start killing off the darlings.
Now, why? Also,
they're not going to, but I would love that.
The darlings?
Well, just that's what you call it when you kill off your characters.
Why didn't Emma? Every other season, they have worked together in order to defeat whatever needed, or they to go find whoever they need to find, or whatever. Why didn't she say, "I am going to save you," and then together we're going to go get Hook?
She should have.
Why would that?
Because Emma's not Emma right now.
Because she's a narcissist.
They've been playing her. They've had her, or they've been writing her as kind of lovesick. Mm-hmm. She's a little off her game, and she's scared the whole time.
It's not Emma at all.
No.
Emma should be strong. Emma awesomeness.
She really should. And right now, she should be like strong to the point that they are fearing for her because they know this is a serious battle and you're not quite ready for this. That's
and
what
she's
it
just kind
should
of
do.
like, I like that.
It's kind of like what happened on this last season of Walking Dead. Molly, I know it's your favorite show.
Clearly.
But Rick, they took the teeth out of Rick. So he was, not literally, but he was...
Yeah, I thought you meant literally.
He was not strong until partway through the season when he started to ramp up. Mm-hmm. And that really, it affected things. And I get playing with that, but here they just made her a lovesick puppy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's
in any other season, she would have saved them and then she would have gone with them to save Hook.
Oh, yeah.
Make her strength be the thing
That they're
that
scared
is
of.
hurting her,
Yeah.
so they do have to save her. She has to save them every time. They have to save her ultimately, but it's because her strength is getting out of control because her fear and everything is building
into her strength
for this fight. And,
I like
and that would have been, we've seen her turn dark. Maybe they're not afraid she's going to go dark. Maybe they think she's going to go supernova and really risk everything. And we don't need her going rogue. We just need it to be that she's taking risks that she doesn't need to.
That she's like just going up to the Black Fairy like, boom!
Yeah.
Boom! Boom!
And they're like, you don't understand what you're really against.
I want that to happen.
I don't think they're going to. And we're recording this so late that, I'm sure they've
It's already happened.
done everything. So
yeah,
they should have shown the scripts to us at the beginning of the season. We could have corrected everything because that's what we do.
Clearly. People love to show us scripts and things.
So,
because we know all the heads of.
Is that everything?
I think that's it.
I think
Molly, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about in this episode?
Not really.
No? All right. I can't wait to get to the next one.
Yeah, this is getting really good. It's starting to really amp up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're really getting on a good trajectory here. I want to see in the next one the Black Fairy being a real threat, not this.
I think she looks like she's going to be a real threat.
That's what I want to see. Okay? Are we ready?
Yes.
Well, let's end this the way every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The end.